Hey, what's up with the V Club here, coming at you with another video. It's about anything and everything. I mean, anything and everything. Lifestyle, entertainment, sports, whatever. Speaking of that, I'm going to talk about a sporting event. But on top of that, the biggest thing right now talking about on a Sunday morning is the TikTok ban, alright? Boom. Um, what I thought would be a last minute reprieve, because typically it would happen, didn't happen. The ban went into full effect. So we're going to talk about that, which I thought was fascinating. And yeah, we're going to talk about the TikTok ban. We're going to talk about real quick on the LA wildfire containment. I'm always, I don't know if I'm concerned, but more like just curious, how the progress is going in the LA wildfire. And we'll see what happens. But with this whole conspiracy, to me, it's a conspiracy now. I'm thinking, since they're already talking about LA 2.0 and all that, it just sounds suspicious, right? To me. But anyhow, we'll talk about that in a moment. I want to throw in a little bit of sports this time as well, as the Kansas City Texans game yesterday. There were two penalties of note that really showed it was bullshit. All right, and that, when you look at some of these games played this season with Kansas City, like you scratch your head if you watch NFL and you're wondering how the hell did they even get those penalties and stuff, right? Or why are they going in their favor, right? It's almost like they're stacking the odds in their favor. And that's why I'm always rooting for Kansas City to lose. So let's take a look at it here. All right, I'm going to play off of Isaac punts here, and fair use. All right, fair use, and this is good critique. All right, so I'm not trying to criticize or nothing. I'm just trying to play this thing out. There was two bullshit penalties that were kind of like, really. And then you should see this one, all right? So let's take a look over here. He covered it pretty well.
Something has got to give. Yes, the Texans are doing everything in their power to shoot themselves in the foot.
And field goal. And it's like you wonder why the Texans were angry, right?
Near midfield that didn't even end up in the same zip code as the uprights, giving up points.
Yeah, that was a bad field goal.
They tried to run a rushed fourth down conversion, down only one score on fourth.
Texans had a bad game, all right? So, all right, let's look at the bullshit penalties, right? That, there's two of them of note that was just like, really? So let's take a look here.
But under no circumstances should we let this happen. Let me take you to the first quarter. It's 3-3. It's a tight game. The Chiefs are attempting a third down conversion on 3rd and 8, but pressure comes down the middle and it's incomplete. But wait, there's a flag. Are you kidding? They call roughing the passer. Now this, objectively, is not a great call. Maybe at first glance it almost looks like an okay call, but then under any second look, which we were told later, you're allowed to second look at a lot of these flags. They could have picked this flag back up because it's not a hard hit to the head whatsoever. They actually first make contact with Mahomes' upper chest, and it's not forceful. There's a variety of other things that disqualify, and just listen to the reactions from the announcing crew.
I agree. Based on what you saw, it looked like he did come up high with the helmet, but it looked like that first contact was to the upper chest area. I didn't see anything there that supported a foul.
So because that was a long pass, that gave him all that field right there on a roughing the passer.
They hate it, and it extends the drive for them to get a field goal. Then later in the game, 1st and 10, there's a fumble. Mahomes picks it up. He scrambles. He's past the line of scrimmage, so he's a runner. He can't seem to get out of bounds, so right as two guys are closing in on him, he drops to the ground where he gets hit, and once again the flags come out. And the announcers and the rules analysts at this point are disgusted.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 39, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, he's a runner, and I could not disagree with that one more.
Unnecessary roughness on a play where they weren't even hit at all.
He barely gets hit. That's the second penalty now.
Troy, I agree with you. There's no forcible contact to the head neck area of him.
They didn't even hit him. They hit each other.
I mean, these are really the only 2 times Mahomes was forcefully hit all game, and the Texans got flagged both times. And all game, the 2 most questionable calls go the Chiefs' way. The NFL has to do something because this legitimately brings into question the sanctity of this sport. It is a disgustingly horrible call, so much so that, like I already talked about, the announcers and the rules analysts cannot believe that these calls keep coming the Chiefs' way. If you want people to stop thinking the NFL is rigged, the NFL needs to step in and do something about this.
And there's been a lot of favorable penalties that, favored the the Chiefs all season long. And so I just thought I wanted to throw that out there to kind of kick things off on this Sunday morning. So, of course, and then Kansas City won. But Texans suck anyways. I didn't like C.J. Stroud this season. He was terrible. I think he just had a bad year. C.J. was disappointing to me. And so that's why, to me, the Texans, at the same time, lost because they're garbage anyways. They were better. I think they were better last year. They had to deal with injuries and all that. But, they weren't that good this year. I don't even know how they even made it to the playoffs, but I guess they had a weak division. So Texans. That's why they're packing their bags. The Ravens will unseat the Chiefs. That's what I think. I think the Ravens are strong enough, and they'll be able to stop the Chiefs. That's what I think. That's the bottom line here for the AFC side. All right. So that's that. All right. Just wanted to throw that out there. Isaac punts. All right. That was a good coverage there. Now, talking about, before we get to the wildfire containment and the TikTok ban in full effect, just a sight to see right here for you. Just saying. I don't know, something sexy about her, Alright, just moving on. Wildfire containment. Alright, let's go take a look at what's going on over here. Mayor names Chief Recovery Officer, plans an outside probe. Alright, so this is kind of showing the timeline of how the deadly wildfires unfolded. If you wanted to see how that happened. On January 7th. Oh, look at that. That was kind of cool. You see that? It just kind of just sprouted about. Let's take a look here.
On January 7th, around 10:20 a.m. local time, a live camera with Alert California, a UC San Diego program to monitor wildfires and disasters in real time, picks up smoke rising. This is the first sighting of the Palisades fire. 6 minutes later, plane spotter at LAX catches first plumes of smoke on its live stream.
That fire.
Not what we want to see here in Southern California. A fire has now broke out.
At 10:58 a.m., resident David Hansen received a video from his mother showing thick orange smoke billowing outside her house on Piedra Morada Drive. The fire size was upgraded from 10 to 200 acres, while containment remained at 0%.
We're in the Palisades Highlands and the fire road is literally on fire.
David Hansen drove to reach his mother and recorded the Palisades fire as it burned an entire hillside beside the road. From his mother's backyard, David filmed helicopters dropping water onto the nearby fires. He tells ABC News he saw them hovering over the edge of Santa Ynez Reservoir and were using a hose to draw up water. The fire spread rapidly, and flames encroached on David's mother's yard. Neighbors rallied together, using water from swimming pools to fight the advancing fire. With 2 more zones ordered to evacuate and 3 new evacuation warnings issued, David decided to drive out. But with high volumes of vehicles trying to evacuate, and with 3 road closures on the Pacific Coast Highway, escaping the flames proved to be difficult for residents. As David drives, he films the road filled with abandoned cars on Palisades Drive.
That's crazy.
Firefighters are seen battling the flames. David and his mother make it out safe from the flames, and he tells ABC News that thanks to the effort of quick-thinking neighbors, David's mother's home has for now survived.
We're through the fire.
Evacuation shelters are placed around the city, and Governor Newsom declares a state of emergency in California. By night, reports show that the Palisades fire has grown to 1,262 acres, and 2 additional fires occur nearby, Eaton Fire and Hearst Fire. Windy conditions complicated firefighting efforts.
We're getting
that ember makes things worse because it can spark anytime, anywhere.
Operations also cancel that traditional copters.
January 8th, 12:29 a.m. Palisades fire size has grown to 2,921 acres and is updated to 11,802
half
by
a day.
11:45 a.m.
Unfortunately, we have 2 reported fatalities to civilians.
That's not even a
Unknown
full
cause
day. It's
at
crazy.
this time, and we do have a number of significant injuries.
Lydia Fire, north of the 3 active fires, starts around 2:07 p.m. At 5:57 p.m., CAL FIRE reported that the Sunset Fire in the famed Hollywood Hills had started, bringing the total to 5 active fires in the state. The Palisades Fire remained the largest, reaching 17,234 acres by the end of the day, with 0% containment. Weather forecasts indicated another round of Santa Ana winds expected from January 9th to January 10th, with a new high-pressure system building from the north, fueling more gusty winds. The Sunset Fire, which crossed more than 40 acres, was fully contained, but at 3:12 p.m., Kenneth Fire started to burn 50 acres in West Hills. On January 10th, the Palisades Fire has grown to nearly 20,000 acres with 6% containment, and the Eaton Fire to nearly 14,000 acres with 0% containment. Governor Newsom calls for an independent investigation into the, quote, loss of water pressure to local fire hydrants and the reported unavailability of water supplies from the Santa Ynez Reservoir, following a Los Angeles Times report that the Pacific Palisades Reservoir had been closed for repairs at the time the destructive fire started.
For almost a year.
Firefighters across the country, as well as Canada and Mexico, arrived to help battle the flames. Local authorities vowed to find out what exactly caused what is on track to become the worst natural disaster in U.S. history based on costs.
Could have been preventable,
made
too.
Up of local, state, and federal partners designed to investigate the cause of these fires and to see if there's any connection between them.
As of Wednesday, January 15th, at least 25 people have died, and more than a dozen others.
All right, so that's that. As of today, this morning, about an hour ago, Palisades containment is now up to 52%, so they're more than halfway there. Eaton Fire is now at 81%. Those are the 2 main fires covered in that video. And they're looking at, let's see, fire danger returns extreme levels on Monday to Wednesday, as strong winds are going to be coming in through this weekend. And the next round of austral winds coming in Monday through Wednesday. So gusty winds reaching up to 80 miles per hour. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to affect the whole SoCal area there, all the way from Ventura to the west there, northwest, through LA, all the way down to pretty much San Diego. Escondido is like San Diego area. All that stuff there. So crazy stuff. Alright, but yeah, containment's growing though, which is good. Alright, now they're up to, like I said, 52 and 81. So that's cool. Good to see. Yeah, they actually contained that pretty quick. Made some strides the last couple days. Alright, let's talk about now the TikTok ban. Alright, so it did go dark hours before the actual deadline for it to go dark. And so that's what happened there. Many have already flocked over to another alternative, of all things, a Chinese app, right? Because TikTok's from China, to Red Note. So it's kind of a, I don't know, for some people, damn if you do, damn if you don't. And others is like, I'm not going to go to another Chinese-based one. I mean, to each its own. I'm just going to just be an observer on this thing and just kind of see what's going on and stay up to date on this stuff. Let me see here. So now that it's banned, right, Sunday, TikTok says it's restoring service for U.S. users after Trump comments. So it sounds like Trump is going to be working on some sort of solution or what it may be to happen, what may happen. So Sunday they'll be restoring service to U.S. users after blocking it in the evening before. Let's see. TikTok said its video platform was coming back online after President-elect Donald Trump provided assurances necessary to the company's service provider. So this is a statement from TikTok. I guess they went offline because they wanted to make sure that they weren't going to be paying penalties, because it was going to be not in the millions, it was like in the billions, based on how many users they have, that they were going to pay a penalty if it was going to be online and people were using it after the cutoff, so they didn't want that to happen and pay for that shit. So I get it. So I'm going to click on mine. I want to see if it pops open or not. Let's see if there's anything that activates or anything right now as we speak. Well, it's on. So it's not gone dark as of right now. It's still there. As usually I'll just play it from time to time. Someone will send me links or clips to watch, and so that's interesting that they went offline, but now it's back on, and now it's playable still. All right, so let's see. See, TikTok's availability remain limited as of early afternoon. This was referring to yesterday. The app is also still unavailable to download. The law banning TikTok, which was scheduled to go into effect Sunday, allows the president to grant a 90-day extension before the ban is enforced, provided certain criteria are met. Under the law that Biden signed in April, TikTok would be banned unless they sold the company to a non-Chinese buyer. Prior to the ban, both Biden and incoming Trump appear to reverse their earlier positions. After the Supreme Court greenlit the law on Friday, Biden issued a statement saying it would not enforce the ban, leaving the responsibility to Trump. Okay, so what I was alluding to is correct. On Saturday evening, the app was removed from app stores and service for American users was suspended. TikTok's future is up in the air. Even if TikTok is given an extension, Trump has vowed to do an executive order. The law still enforces ByteDance to eventually sell the app to a non-Chinese owner, something the parent company has indicated no interest in doing. Oh, okay. So that's the part I was wondering about, was, are they even going to sell it, So TikTok said in his latest statement that it will work with President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the U.S. Trump has floated the idea of a joint venture with U.S. owning 50%, but even that idea faces a potential hurdle. The law includes a 20% cap for foreign adversary owners, so it's not immediately clear whether ByteDance could exceed that ownership share without a change in the law. Alright, sounds like a mess here. So if a foreign adversary such as China is able to still own it, they only can own no more than 20%. Alright, as Trump floated the idea of 50-50, but they can't own more than 20. So I was right after all. I did a video yesterday and I was right, because they did go dark, but at the same time Biden said he was going to leave it up to the next president to do whatever. So that's what I said. I said there's going to be some sort of reprieve or whatever, which would allow Trump to come in and do something. There is an offer on the table from Kevin O'Leary here. All right, $20 billion on the table. All right, but it sounds like, based on what I just said, China or ByteDance, the Chinese company, is seemingly not interested in buying it or selling it. I'm sorry, selling it. So that's the question. All right. Well, what's next? Are they going to come to a solution, or are they just going to go dark for good? That is the question. All right. So let's see what else is going on over here. Alright, I'm trying to see if there's anything else addressed about TikTok. Trump hints at action on TikTok in a not too distant future. Alright. Let's see what else is going on over here. Right here, let's go. Let's see what else we got here. I bang Shang. If you ask me, If you ask me, I bang Shang. Yeah, so I covered this right here. They felt like favorable calls. So I can see why Texans are angry, but Texans are garbage though this year. But yeah, so that's where it's at. We'll see what happens as time goes on here. Got some interesting things to talk about tomorrow. Alright, so let's see. America's most woke mayor recalled, fired, indicted by Democrats. Yeah, I mean, I covered this story when she got recalled, and then when the elections came through, the vote came through and voted to oust her and the DA. Cover that. And if you look at Oakland, though, I keep saying it all the time. Oakland is just a dump. All right, they should have just bulldozed that city. That is a trash, worthless city. All right, and they ran that thing to the ground. They let crime go rampant. They let thugs and just vandalism and all kinds of shit just destroy Oakland. Everybody's leaving Oakland. Everything's closing. I mean, it's just trash. They should just bulldoze. If they want to do some sort of 2.0, they should just do that to Oakland. Do a 2.0 in Oakland. All right, so that's what I think. Because it's just, if you go drive through there, you'll see what I'm talking about. And that's just a massive dump. You might as well just go over there and dump all your trash there too. It's just because that place is just gone. All right. Anyhow, that's it for me today on your Sunday. Comment down below, subscribe, hit the bell icon, that we can stay on top of daily content. So what we got going on over here. Thank you, and check out all the links in my description for various other things that I'm in and I do. And I'll see you next one.